Hay un tipo de inteligencia artificial que está impulsando la agenda sintética. Nos enfrentamos a algún tipo de fuerza oscura que ha hackeado la vida misma. Este virus primario tiene muchas de las características que hemos atribuido históricamente a la inteligencia artificial. Son sin alma, monótonos, mentalidad de colmena, mente colmena, sin libre albedrío, incapaz de sentir, solo capaz de dar respuesta, incapaz de hacer preguntas. Sin poder creador no se puede crear sin ser previamente programado o enseñado para crear. Es un parásito, se ha introducido en una realidad existente, la ha hackeado tomando el control de la agenda de alguna manera, y ahora está ocupada creando su propia versión modificada de la realidad, una realidad venenosa y sintética que está amenazando destruir el anfitrión original. Es de hecho el sistema, es la Matrix. La única manera de avanzar es que cada persona se asegure de que su propia percepción no esté también siendo hackeada. Realmente vamos a tener que hacernos buenos en elegir proactivamente nuestra vibración en lugar de reactivamente ser arrastrados en una frecuencia de elección del sistema. Sabemos que muchos líderes mundiales famosos y respetados ya han vendido sus almas a entidades como los arcontes, que ofrecen el poder sobre otros seres humanos a cambio de la fuerza vital de esa persona. Otro aspecto de la agenda sintética que sigue siendo desconocido para la mayoría de la población en general es la clonación humana. Y es real, está sucediendo en bases militares subterráneas. George Green, que tiene información privilegiada, afirmó en su entrevista con el proyecto Camelot en 2008 que a los Estados Unidos y a otros gobiernos del planeta se les ha dado la tecnología de clonación por los grises, alienígenas grises y otras entidades, y han estado haciendo clones desde el año 1938.
Well, our scientists have learned how to make people. They call them synthetics. Are you familiar with those?
Well, actually, we just interviewed John Lear, and he was talking about being in an audience in which they were given a lecture by a guy that they thought was real and found out later he was a hologram.
Well, it's a synthetic. The synthetics, when you touch their skin, it feels like that video, the boys from Brazil. Rent it, because in it, it gives you the exact way how our government's been making people.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
and the Soviets have a different method called...
making people meaning temporary people?
No, walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics? You're not talking about that?
Well, let me tell you. The movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just I'll act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food, where they can use cows and sheep, too. Again, a food source, that's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. You need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA, right?
Okay, because theoretically, if we have overpopulation, we don't need more people, right?
But the so-called elite are selecting on who they want to have around anyway, so if we want to keep people going as long as we can. I talked to the doctor that was working on regeneration of Castro, for instance.
Right.
On the DNA sequencing. And they're just learning about this.
Well, my understanding is that a lot of presidents have already been replaced.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't think...
They're walking around, they look old, but they basically, some of the people are just
I'll just give you something
copies.
I'll give you something to ponder. Get some old videos of George Bush, when he first came into office. Look at the person and listen to him speak. Look at his actions and listen to everything that's there. Now, it's a lot easier to put somebody out in front to act as even Bush did. He had somebody else that was up there acting like he is and look like it. Even Hitler had he had his stand. In fact, his stand-in was the one that they found in the ground over in Germany. I mean, Hitler and Eva and the dog and 14 other people got aboard a plane and flew down to Barcelona, Spain. You were aware of that. And then ended up in Antarctica or in Swaziland and then died a few years ago in Brazil.
That's what we heard.
I have all the documents from our own government.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a contact, one of our
Stalin
clients.
Stalin asked for they tried to burn the body, and he got the body back. And so we had different ears, and the testicles were different and everything else, so they knew it wasn't Hitler.
But is it a clone or not?
Oh, now you know we're going about cloning. Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. I have a doctor friend
but
that
I
all
wanna
it
know
does
where
is treat
you-
the clones.
Where do you get your information?
I get it from some of the people that are willing to come forth, and they talk to me because they hope I'll put the information out, because they always got 2 people following them and they need to be killed. If I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that disappear. So I don't go into too many more details. But there is information that's available, and more and more of that's coming on the line. I just told you, go rent the movie.
I have Voice from Brazil.
Yeah, and you'll see the whole technique on what they show it to you in different places, so you can imagine what is going on.
Okay, so...
Now, let's go to the next step, because this is the most important part.
All right.
If your physical reality that you have, based on this physical life that you have, this dream, is made up of the experiences that is impregnated on your body and in your mind, consciously, right? Your soul memory is another thing. It goes back whatever time that you elected to be in this incarnation for whatever reason. Now let's show you the division on these things. Since the body's very physical, and we just got you making a physical being in a few months for spare parts, they said, now we've got the perfect deal. How can we have that work better? Well, if you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. It's downloaded on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have, because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized.
Right,
Soulless
that's
beings.
true. That's true.
Now we have another agenda that's going on, so you have to be careful about this. There are many extraterrestrials that would like to be in on the game right now, so they can sometimes will come into these physical beings that we've made to manipulate them.
I see.
So now you have a combination effort that you have to look at, and discernment. You have to discern what the game is. Well, just figure that most of the leaders we have in the world have been bought and paid for or created to think a certain way in the world.